Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of Super Switch Headz, the premier Nintendo podcast on all of the internet. My name is Summer Rain.
My name is Jordan Willis.
And my name is David Howe.
And wow, it's the three of us. Look at that!
Dreams can't come true.
Reunited and it feels so good. Yes, we are reunited for one more night to celebrate a very special episode. It is the 7th annual Golden Headz. This is our yearly episode where we get together and do some reflecting. We give out our own awards. Some of them are very personal. Some of them are very anti-personal, and we're gonna get into that and more. But before that, how have y'all been?
Doing great, Summer. Oh, Summer, it's so good to have you back on the show.
So good to be back.
Oh, really? We've been having a little bit of banter right before recording here, and it's just like, oh, I missed you so much. It's really, really nice to have you back on. Very excited for the Headies this evening. Move over the Game Awards, move over the Indie Game Awards, move over the DICE Awards. This is the only prestigious award show in all of gaming media, the Golden Headz. So excited. I look forward to this all year, every year, if I'm honest. I'm a big awards season guy. What about you, Jordan? Are you excited?
Yeah, I feel like we're better dressed than about 50 to 70% of people at the Game Awards. So I feel like, you know what, just a little bit of a round of applause for us. I think we all look very nice if you want to go watch the video version.
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah.
Dashing. Doing pretty good. David, it's been so long since I've talked to you. Little bit of behind the scenes.
Hey, it's a special episode season. You know, we're recording at random times.
Oh, yeah, man. But yeah, doing pretty good. I think it was like my last day at work and just getting ready for the end of the year, brother. Let's get ready to talk about some games.
Yeah. What about you, Summer? How have you been since we talked to you last?
A lot has happened, hasn't it? I'm not an awards season person necessarily, but I'm definitely a video games person. And yeah, the Game Awards themselves, they're what they are and they suck, but it's also fun to celebrate video games. So I did have a party for the Game Awards. And I made everybody dress up as whatever their favorite, game of the year was. And we had, I make drinking rules every single year for the Game Awards. This was the first time that I did it like with a bunch of people in person. So that was a lot of fun. Didn't expect Battlefield 6 to win a single thing. So that was what our take a shot if they win something award.
So everybody was sober the whole time.
Oh my gosh, no, not at all. But I feel like similar things might happen tonight. So really, really excited to get into this.
That's true. If Battlefield 6 wins Game of the Year at the Golden Headz Awards, we all have to do a shot.
We all have to do a shot.
Yeah. You too, listener, even if you're driving. All right. I'm joking about that, obviously. Do not drink and drive, but do enjoy the awards. We're going to be going right into it. If you might remember, the way that the Golden Headz works every year is we have our category awards where we will all give our favorites for that particular category. And we also have our Golden Headz Awards that will be given out sporadically throughout the night. Those will be presented by each of us here, and those go towards the more specialized awards that we wanted to give out in this year of Nintendo. As I understand, not only Nintendo games are eligible for the Golden Headz, it's opened up to the entire gaming industry here. That said, we do have a focus on it, so bear that in mind as we are giving these awards out. But I think with all that out of the way, I'm ready to get started. Are we ready to get started, gang?
Yeah, let's get it started.
Very good. Well, we're going to come in hot and ready with our first Golden Head Award. And the category is Best Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. And the nominees are Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. We're counting those as one. Kirby and the Forgotten Land Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Star-Crossed World. Super Mario Party Jamboree Nintendo Switch 2 Edition plus Jamboree TV.
I'm going to lose it.
Pokemon Legends ZA Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. And Metroid Prime 4 Beyond Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. All right. And the winner goes to Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. That not only was this the only pack-in that we got with Nintendo Switch Online here in the Switch 2 generation as far as DLC is concerned, Playing these games in 4K is a genuine revelation. The 60 frames per second is a game changer. If you haven't done yourself a favor and booted up Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom with the new Nintendo Switch 2 edition patches, I can't wait to not ever say that again. Definitely you owe it to yourself to play this. So congratulations to Legend of Zelda. That's it. That's the first award. We're going to move on now to our next category, and that is our individual picks for Best Nintendo First Party or Exclusive Game. And Summer, let's start with you. What would you say is your favorite Nintendo First Party game of the year?
Yeah, my favorite Nintendo First Party game of the year has to go to Mario Kart World. I understand that I may be in the minority here, but I do love this Mario Kart, and they have continued to make updates to it that have made it continuously better, in my opinion. I like that it is a different game from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I actually do like how it feels like a different game, and I like how I do like how different all of the characters feel within this game. They all have such different personality that you can just feel through their animations. Really do actually enjoy just hanging out in that world, collecting stickers and achievements in that way. Soundtrack is incredible.
Yes.
And I just honestly, of the Nintendo games that first party that came out this year, this is the one for me that came out this year compared to some of the others. So gotta be Mario Kart World.
Very good. Very good. That's a great pick. And if you're listening right now, Nintendo did just announce that they've ceased production on the bundle. So you better go in and grab that thing if you don't want to pay $80 for that game. Great stuff. Great pick. I also enjoy that. Jordan, what about you? What's your pick for Nintendo exclusive of the year?
Yeah, I had to go with Donkey Kong Bonanza, of course. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to speak for you, David, and I haven't peaked, but I think David and I have the same one because this game I just spent so much time. I 100%ed it. It was both endlessly addicting and it just satisfying to just dig around and just completely demolish a level, and just it's almost like an anti-platformer in a weird way that I really appreciated. Looks beautiful, really a nice showcase of the hardware of just destruction mechanics that probably weren't as fluid or well realized on the original Switch hardware. So I think it's a good showcase of that as well. But David, what about you?
I agree. I have to say my Nintendo exclusive game of the year also goes to Donkey Kong Bonanza. This was a game that I haven't picked up much since beating it. But boy, when I was playing it, it's all I could think about. It's all I wanted to do. I was dreaming about it when I was asleep. I was itching to wake up and play it. I played a good amount of it when I was on vacation. That's how much I was really into the game, sitting in a little room and playing this game on my Switch 2. Just a wonderful, fabulous game. And just as a lifelong Donkey Kong fan, the build-up to this game finally being revealed, with all the games being added to Nintendo Switch Online, being slowly doled out over time, the Wii remake of Donkey Kong Country Returns coming to the Switch and all that kind of stuff, the theme park, and then it all kind of culminating in this game being, essentially one of the launch titles for this system. I truly loved this game, and I can't wait to see what this team does next. I'm not even mad that it wasn't a 3D Mario. I was in heaven pretty much the entire time I was playing this game.
Yeah, it made me curious. I was like, what was my longest play session on this game? And apparently on August 21st, 2025, I played 6 hours of this game, which is just probably me mopping up everything. But anyway, that's why it is my first party title.
Good to know. Yeah. Well, I think we're going to move on to our next Golden Head Award. And Jordan, you are presenting this one.
Yes. The next Golden Head Award is for Best Switch 2 Rumor That Didn't Come True. And the nominees are Themes.
RIP themes.
Yeah, RIP themes. We can get a theme in the Nintendo Switch Online, but we can't get a theme for our system, but whatever, that's beside the point. Super Switch Name. Joy-Con attachments. We had these patents for the wheel and the crank that I haven't seen anything about. And then the other one is the second screen. And the winner is Super Switch name. Come on, Super Switch.
Nintendo.
Super Switch. Come on. Could have been
It was
us.
so heavily rumored that it was going to be the Super Nintendo Switch, which would have done wonders for our SEO. But alas, Nintendo.
It was our
Switch
year. What happened?
I think it was still our year this year. Come on.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and instead of having Super Switch at the beginning of everything, now we just have Nintendo Switch 2 edition at the end of everything. I don't love it. I don't
yeah,
love
this
it.
is the worst timeline. You're totally right.
Anyway,
what we could have had. Yeah, our next Golden Head Award is for Best Food Item at Nintendo World Parks. The nominees are, yes, yum indeed. The nominees are Yoshi Shell Yakisoba, Super Mushroom Soup, Bowser's Fireball Challenge, DK Crush Float, and Chef Toad's Herbs Chicken Special. The winner is the DK Crush Float.
Hey.
Yes, the sleeper hit that you have to acquire specifically in the Donkey Kong Country region of the park was just such a surprise. I had already researched all of the food items in Nintendo World
before you went.
Right, but I wasn't expecting to become such a Donkey Kong pilled person, and then I got that DK Crush Float in my hands, and I was like, wow, Donkey Kong's the best.
He really is. And you get to keep the cup too. That's a huge part of that item.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Have my cup, have my spoon. Yeah. Still figuring out the dupe recipe, but
the only one that I had when I was at the Japan park was the Yoshi Shell Yakisoba. And it was great. But I did not get to try any of the Donkey Kong stuff because it wasn't opened at that point. But I'm very happy that you were able to.
Try it, if you go again.
Yeah, I will. I will. I'm definitely will make it out to Orlando at some point. But we're going to move on to our next category for awards, and this is the award for Best Music. Jordan, let's start with you. What game would you give Best Music to this year?
Yeah, I was really struggling with this. I was thinking about this all day. Historically, I don't much care about the music in a game outside of the game that I'm when I'm playing it. I love like music that is like atmospheric and sucks me into the immersion, but I'm not like listening to it when I'm done playing the game. So for that reason, I picked Metroid Prime 4 Beyond because the music in that game is just so incredible for the moments that you're in it. And Metroid is kind of a music forward game ever since Super Metroid. So this one kind of has this really cool like space opera kind of neo like old school retro sci-fi retro studio shout out. But also, like in a modern context. And it's just it really kind of like sucks me into the game world for sure. So that's my pick.
Yeah, very good. It's got a kind of pretty cool industrial soundtrack, I think, to some of this, which I really enjoy. I'll go next. My award for Best Music of the Year has to go to Mario Kart World. I was shocked that Mario Kart World was not on the nominations list for the Game Awards for Best Soundtrack, because I think this is quite possibly my favorite game soundtrack of all time. It is so huge. Every time I play it, I discover a new song that I haven't heard before. It's all these incredible, jazzy, interesting arrangements of Mario music that I've loved throughout my life. It just on sheer breadth alone, I had to give it to Mario Kart World. However, I will throw in a couple runners-up that were very close. One of them was Hyperbeat, a rhythm game, which I really loved, an indie game. Everybody should check out Hyperbeat. And also Mars First Logistics. Every once in a while, when the music kicks in that game, when you're moving from place to place on the surface of Mars, these sick beats kick in, and it's so much fun to drive around in that game. So those games are amazing, but Mario Kart World takes it for me. Summer, what is your pick for game soundtrack of the year?
Yeah, so I will be the first to stray away from Nintendo games here. Sorry, y'all, but mine does have to go to Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
Hell yeah.
As a soundtrack alone. Fun fact about it is that within a week of this game coming out, it was a the album was a chart topper for classical music.
Whoa.
And like
Whoa.
the past, and it was like the past 40 years too, of like most streams for a classical album in the past like 40 years. That on its own is like an achievement separate from the game. And if you don't already know this, if you're listening, the composer, it was a guy that they found on SoundCloud, and we're like, we love your stuff. Would you be interested in working with us? And then again, yeah, like also a breadth of music, because it isn't just classical work in there. There's all kinds of other genres, like when it is appropriate for within the game. And yeah, the storytelling of the soundtrack alone, how it's incorporated into the game, too incredible to ignore. That being said, if we're going to do runner-ups, then I'm going to do a really quick shout out, really quick shout out to Rift of the Necro Dancer.
Hell yeah.
Because that was an
enough.
incredible rhythm game that came out this year. The band that does a lot of the music for this game, they're performing at MagFest, so I'm really excited to see them live.
Okay. Nice.
I really enjoyed this game. It's really fun. It's a really fun play on. It's basically like, what if DDR, you had to memorize enemy attack patterns, and I'm into that. Yeah.
Very
Those
cool.
are my picks.
Very good. That is great. I can't wait to see that band at MagFest with you, Summer. In the new
awesome.
year. 2026 is going to be my year, baby. We're going to move on right now to our next Golden Head Award. And this is the Golden Head Award for Most Forgotten Nintendo IP. I think everybody's been very surprised at the first year of the Switch 2, giving a lot of weight to franchises that people did not see coming, Kirby Air Riders being among them, Metroid Prime series being there at the launch of a system. So these are franchises that we think could and should have used a little bit more love in the Switch 2 era. And the nominees are Pilot Wings, Kid Icarus, Nintendogs, Star Fox, and Punch-Out. And the winner for Most Forgotten Nintendo IP goes to Star Fox.
Yep.
Man, it is crazy that there is not a new Star Fox game throughout the entirety of the Switch 1's life, let alone the Switch 2. Hopefully that changes very soon and we see Star Fox returning to AAA Nintendo development. Time will certainly tell. Do you guys think it's going to happen?
I don't know.
No.
I think I can. I truly feel like I see all of these other IPs before Star Fox.
Yeah, maybe Nintendogs even.
Yeah, I wish I was kidding.
Yeah. Well, one day it'll happen for me. We're going to move on to our next category, that having been said, and that is Best Indie Game. This is a hard one. And if it's okay with you guys, I'm going to start this one. I did have some runner-ups that I'd love to give their due right before we get into indie game, because the majority of what I played this year was indie games. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Ooh, the puzzle platformer where you play as a caterpillar that throws his head as he figures stuff out. Blueprints, which I thought was a fabulous first-person puzzle roguelike. Lonely Mountain Snow Riders, and Windswept. All four of those games were phenomenal and definitely worth checking out. But one stood far above the rest for me this year with indies. It's one of my favorites of the year, and that is Angeline Era. That's right. This is from the creators of Anodyne. This might be a little bit of recency bias because I am currently in a playthrough of this game, but it is similarly to Donkey Kong Bonanza, one that I am constantly thinking about, one that when I'm not playing, I'm thinking about ways that I could beat levels that I haven't done yet. It's got a wonderful PS1, N64-esque top-down aesthetic with really, really unique combat, gameplay, and a story that is mind-bending, sublime, and deals with themes of spirituality, religion, and lots of stuff like that. So definitely, if you're interested in this, check out Angeline Era. It is one of my favorites of the year, and it is my pick for Indie Game of the Year. What about you, Summer? What is your Indie Game of the Year?
Yeah, and what I'm about to say is like maybe spoilers for later on, but yeah, most of the games that I played this year were indie games, and I'm going to be talking about them a lot. So for this category, I really did try to give this to a game that I am not talking about in other categories as much, just to continue to try to highlight additional games. So my best indie game of the year is going to go to Ball Pit.
Very good.
Hey.
So Recency bias maybe a little bit here too, because I did just start playing this game, and as soon as I got that first level up and saw the upgrades, I was like, oh yeah. Okay, let's go. Ball pit. It's a what do you even call it's not pong,
it's like a breakout,
brick breaker.
Breakout, like
it's like a roguelike, but it's a brick breaker game, and it's also like a resources. You go back to a hub that you're like collecting resources and developing like a colony, and the gameplay loop, it's just as sick and sweet as a lot of other highlighted roguelikes in the past. I would put it up there with like Vampire Survivors and Balatro, because of the loop that's going on here. You always want to do one more, and it's hard to stop.
Do you like the city building aspect of the game as well? That's the part that kind of makes me bounce out a little bit, for lack of a better word.
You don't have to pay that much attention to it for what it's worth. Mm-hmm. There is like some strategy to that part, but I don't think you have to focus on it as much. You can kind of just do whatever with it.
Gotcha.
You'll continue to get more because if you're not perfectly placing your buildings and your resources when you do that version of the like shoot them to collect resources, you'll eventually get more villagers who are like they'll eventually hit them, I guess, kind of a thing. It's not, don't stress out over that part as much.
Good. I won't.
Yeah.
Jordan, what about you?
Well, this is the one that I was like, man, I gotta just give it to Silksong, because damn, dude, this is like such a crazy game, and it was such a long buildup. But like, just I love a lot of like small team indie games, or like games made by one person. A lot of the times, I mean, just because you get to see a more like true vision, like an auteur. But Team Cheer being only like, I think it's 3 people, is just pretty crazy to me that they were able to build this world. And I watched out kind of a behind the scenes of like how Hollow Knight was built, which is, I think, similar for Silksong. And it's just like the layers for it and the way they like build it all together was just so impressive. The art is incredible. The atmosphere is unmatched. Yeah, man. So that's my indie game of the year. I'm so happy for their success.
Yeah. Another one of those long weighted games, very similar to Metroid Prime 4. But unlike Metroid Prime 4, it does seem that most people had their expectations met with Silksong. So congratulations to Silksong indeed. We are going to move on to our next Golden Head Award, and this one is being presented by Jordan. What do we got, Jordan?
All right, this Golden Head Award is for the most canceled game. This, every year there's a new Wikipedia article that's 2022 to present of layoffs, which is depressing because we constantly are talking about it. So there was a lot of canceled games this year. So the nominees are Earthblade.
R.I.P. to that one.
R.I.P. dude. That looked the Celeste creator making a Metroidvania. Dude, sign me up. Everwild. The Rare Joint, Perfect Dark, the Wonder Woman game that we didn't even know existed until it was canceled, Contraband, and God of War live service game from Sony. I don't even know what that would look like. It doesn't make any sense. I can see why it was canceled. And the winner is Perfect Dark. Whoa. For me, this was a game that like I grew up playing, and it definitely deserved a reboot. And the reason I kind of picked this one too is just because like we had full on like gameplay of this and it got canceled. Like Earthblade, we kind of had some trailers. Everwild, we had some trailers. Wonder Woman, we didn't really know much. But this one is just like you full on, like looked like it was very far into the development before it got canceled.
Multiple studios working on this one too. It's crazy the amount of people that were laid off from this game.
Exactly. So to me, that is the most canceled game. And I would, I think Perfect Dark deserves a comeback, a la the reboot of the Tomb Raider franchise. But at this juncture, it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. But our next Golden Head Award is going to be given away by Summer.
Yes, thank you, Jordan. Our next Golden Head is for Wokest Game.
Fuck yeah.
This goes to the game that, by certain gamers' definitions, is most woke. The nominees,
lots of discourse in 2025.
Oh yeah, the nominees are Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Hades 2, Pokemon Legends ZA, and Death Stranding 2. And the award goes to Hades 2.
Hey.
This is a game that is made for women who love women. There are so many incredible imagined versions of gods in this game that don't match a typical Western idea. They're gay and they're hot.
It's the mummy. It's the mummy of video games in that it's the bisexual awakening of many a gamer. I think everybody is eating good, no matter your orientation on Hades 2.
Yeah, it's absolutely 100%. And apparently Aphrodite was too masculine looking, even though her titties are fully out in the game.
That's how you know it's a woke game.
Right? Is that they're complaining about Aphrodite being masculine when she is literally like the embodiment of femininity still in this game.
Yeah.
Her shoulders are broad. Okay.
Yeah.
That is a signal of her hips being broad. Mm-hmm. Like, hello.
Preach.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, we are moving on from Wokest Game to Best Visual Design. That is our next category. And I think, Jordan, let's start with you. What do you have for Best Visual Design?
Yeah, man, I am about 3/4, probably 80% done with this game. It's going to be Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Like,
very deserved.
This is like one of the best looking games I've ever seen on a Nintendo console, and I'm constantly blown away. Like, whatever criticisms online, I feel like are so unfair to the actual design of the world. Like, all the textures look incredible. The enemies look, fit right in the world. The design of the new aliens, all of the very particular looking doors. But I just say it all fits in the universe, and like from that first person perspective, it's just so lush. The visuals are just such a treat for the eyes. So for me, best visual design of the year.
Yeah. That was definitely the one thing that nobody complained about with this game was the environments and the graphics. Truly a remarkable game. That is a great pick. I'm going to go next with my pick. And I was thinking about giving it to Metroid, but I decided to spice it up a little bit and go with Kirby Air Riders for best visual design, because boy howdy, this is a gorgeous game and is an assault on the senses. Every moment of this game is filled with glitz and glamour. Just the actual tracks themselves are so beautifully rendered. And then on top of that, all the design you can do with the ships, so much customizability, just the particle effects and the camera moves and everything going on in this game is completely gorgeous. And this was the very first game that I played. No shade on Donkey Kong Bonanza, but this was the very first game that I played where I was like, man, the Switch One could not have been a Switch One game. You know what I mean? And so I was very, very impressed playing Kirby Air Riders. And I haven't even gotten to the part of the game where you fight and kill God. So I'm sure that's going to be fantastic when I eventually get there. But yes, Kirby Air Riders gets my best visual design of the year. Summer, what about you? Who's it going to?
Yeah. Sorry, it's going to Hades too.
Hey, that's okay.
Yeah, definitely my favorite art direction of the year, I have to say. And Supergiant Games now has my heart. I love their designs. I love their characters. Yeah. I love their environments. There were so many additional kinds of environments in this game compared to the original Hades. They basically took all of a lot of the designs from the original game and expanded upon them and gave this like twice as many in Hades too. It really is a true sequel in that way. Just gorgeous to look at. And for me too, visuals are like good visual design is I can play it for hours and not feel weird in the head. You know, my eyes are okay. I don't feel sick when I'm
Your
playing
smooth
it.
Brain can handle this game.
Yes, I can play Hades 2 all day, every single day. And that's maybe a problem, but like I can do it. Yep, going to Hades 2.
Very good. Those are all really great picks. I did have a runner-up that I did want to give a quick shout out to, and that would be Eternity Egg. That game just came out. It's not necessarily like an amazing looking game, but it's got a very particular aesthetic. If you haven't checked that one out, I definitely recommend checking out Eternity Egg, and congratulations on getting the coveted runner-up award from David here. We're moving on to our next Golden Head Award, and this one is going to be announced by me. This is the Heady for Nintendo's weirdest NSO move. That's right. With the Switch 2, Nintendo has carried on Nintendo Switch Online, and they have made a bunch of very strange decisions with the service, and we wanted to highlight some of our favorites. The nominees for weirdest Nintendo NSO move are Virtual Boy being added to the service with a required headset, no free DLC, C button that does nothing if you don't subscribe to the service. That one has not happened yet, but soon people that don't subscribe will have a worthless C button. Too many freaking apps. Nintendo put out like 5 stinking apps for NSO this year, and rebranding Nintendo Switch Online to Nintendo Classics. And the Golden Heady goes to too many fucking apps. That's right. We've got Nintendo Music. We've got Nintendo Store. We've got Nintendo Switch Online itself. We've got even more.
Nintendo Today.
Thank you, Nintendo
Super
Today.
Mario Run.
There's
Fire Emblem Heroes.
Okay, those don't count. Those are old games. But anyway, there are a million Nintendo Switch Online apps. They're all on your phone. Nintendo, we're begging you. Please put all these into one unified app. It would make all of our lives much, much better. But I think with that out of the way, we're going to move on to the next Golden Head Award, and this one is being presented by Jordan.
All right, this Golden Head Award is for most disappointing studio to admit to using AI. So I know we have talked a lot about this on the show. This has kind of been the hot topic of the year too. It's just 2025 is like the rise of AI, not only in the video game sphere, but just like more broadly. So the nominees are Activision for Call of Duty, Larian with Divinity and of Baldur's Gate 3 fame, Sandfall, Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, Embark Studios with Arc Raiders, and Level 5, Professor Layton fame. And the Golden Head Award goes to Sandfall for Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, who literally got their Indie Game Award stripped away from them because of this, which that's what, if you get an entire like Game of the Year award stripped from you, you win most disappointing studio to admit using AI. I don't really know the context of all of their AI, to be honest. I just know.
Do you want it?
Yes. Summer, please.
Sure. They played around with Unity tools in 2022 because they were being pushed. They decided that they didn't like them and they stopped using them. There was one texture that didn't get caught. That was
like the papers in the beginning, like all had like AI text on them.
And they patched it 5 days after release. They released a statement that was exactly that, and this was known, so that those Indie Game Awards could have not nominated them in the first place. Just saying that too.
That's a good point. Shade. That's fair shade thrown on a far inferior award show than ours.
I'm just saying, like, does it suck that they used it? Obviously.
Yeah.
Is it as bad as all these other studios saying, no, we love AI, as opposed to this studio that's like, no, we shouldn't have used it? I don't know.
Still pretty disappointing.
So yeah, that's why it's disappointing. Is they're the one that could have been good.
Yeah. We'll I'm sure we'll delve into this much more on the eventual AI episode that we've been putting off doing for over a year now. But boy, howdy, I wish I could wake up from this nightmare. We are now going to move on to our genre categories here. We actually only have 2 this year that we're going to be talking about. But the first one for genre is going to be RPG of the year. And I think Summer, let's start with you. What is your RPG of the year?
again, trying to spread the love for other games that I really enjoyed a lot this year. So this one is going to go to Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar.
Ooh, okay.
I know that this game is technically a remake. However, it is fully a remake. It is not enough like the original game, in my opinion. They took a previous game that a lot of people that are fans of the franchise didn't care for and made it one of the best in the series.
More remakes need to do that, right? Like
Yes.
remake bad games into good games.
Yeah, like you had an old concept that you liked, but maybe you have the tools now to make it a fully fleshed idea, and you want to do it. And this is a studio that is able to do that for fun, right? And it feels like a brand new game. I'm focusing more on the farming aspect of this, but I've got all that role playing going on in my head as well. The characters have so much dialogue related to little things that happen to you in this game, and I love that. It really feels like a fully like fleshed out environment and town, like you're like living and breathing with all these other people that are there, and I love that for a role-playing game.
Hell yeah. Is this the game that's going to get me into farming sims, Summer?
Not necessarily. It's more of a. I don't recommend this to people who aren't already into farming sims.
Gotcha.
It's more of a, if you are a fan of farming sims, then you have to play this one.
Very good. Very good. Good to know. Good to know. Well, I will go next. The game that I picked is a game that I have already given an award to. Might get a couple more by the end of the day. We'll have to see. But that is also going to Angeline Era. I realized I didn't play a ton of RPGs this year. I'm not great at ending RPGs in general. I tend to bounce off them pretty quickly. And the only other one I played this year was Final Fantasy X, which is a very old game. So I could not give it to that. But Angeline Era is a fabulous action RPG. Like I said before, it's got an amazing kind of opaque story that's like a little hard to follow, but like exactly in that way that like JRPGs do, right? Where it's kind of like, ooh, it's almost like mostly vibes more than anything else. Really wonderful game, fantastic story, and I really felt connected to the characters by the end of the game, which I'm still making my way towards, but I'm already really into them. That gets my pick for RPG of the year. Jordan, what about you?
Dude, I do play a decent amount of RPGs, and I realized I didn't really play almost any RPGs this year, like straight RPGs. So with that note, Pokemon Legends ZA got mine, because I'm like, I was literally going through the Rolodex in my head. I was like, what RPGs did I play this year? I think that might have been the only one. So it is the winner by default.
Hey, I think we were surprised at how much more we liked Pokemon Legends ZA than we were expecting.
That is true. I was surprised by how much I like the battle system and the level up mechanics, and just trying to like evolve my mons, which is still satisfying. Like that is still satisfying to this day, is like trying to level up your Pokemon to get them to the next evolution stage. But also I think what I really liked about this game is just kind of really cracked open like being able to teach your Pokemon moves, and then like so the battle system in this was like way more fun. And for me, when I'm playing an RPG, I really like unique battle systems. Like RPGs for so long were the same kind of like, you hit them, they hit you. You hit them, you know what I mean? And it's like in the past 10 years, we've gotten really experimental with it, you know? So this one being a shakeup of the Pokemon franchise and being kind of like a different type of battle system did really appeal to me. Even if it was not my favorite RPG ever, or even in the top 30 RPGs I've ever played, but it is my favorite RPG of this year.
Wow. Well, RIP to the JRPG. That's 2 action RPGs and a farming sim in our RPG of the year category. Funny how those things work out. We're going to move on to our next category here, and that is for platformer of the year. This could be 2D platformers or 3D platformers. Summer, let's start with you.
Yeah, so in the same way that y'all didn't play a lot of RPGs this year, I don't play a lot of platformers, period. Not a category of game that I really play. So similarly, my game that wins by default is Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Hey, it was still very good.
Yes, definitely a very good game. Pauline is there, so that makes it really awesome. And it's a great game. Only platformer I played this year. Music slaps. I love that.
True.
Yeah, love just smashing down until I can't anymore. That's probably the favorite thing that I do in this game, is just going as far down as I can. Which I guess is kind of like what y'all were saying earlier about it being an anti-platformer. Like, maybe that's what makes it so good for me. And I'm like, I just go down until I can't.
If you hate platformers, an anti-platformer sounds pretty good, I'd say. Jordan, what about you? What do you have for platformer of the year?
Yeah, so in between Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza, I was like, what do I want to play on my Switch 2? And, I picked up this little game called Pipistrello and the Cursed Yo-Yo. Phenomenal game. Dude.
Wait, isn't this a top-down game?
Yes. Okay. I had this debate with myself, right? Because I was like, this is not a platformer. And then I looked it up online and it's considered a platforming adventure game.
Ooh.
So I was just like, wait. And it really made me think about it, because I was like, okay, say you're playing Zelda from the top-down perspective. You have like a feather jump, maybe, but you're whatever. This game has some very intense mechanics where you are throwing your yo-yo, and then you have to jump on your yo-yo to double jump, and then you have to bounce your yo-yo off a wall to push yourself down, and then you also have to like ride a wall. This game has some like very precise platforming elements that I hadn't really seen too much of in a top-down perspective game. And that's why it gets my platform game of the year, because it's like, oh no, these are platform mechanics and platform buttons that I'm doing.
Right.
It just isn't the perspective that most of us are used to.
All right. Wow.
So, and I actually really love this game, and I highly recommend this game if you haven't played it yet.
Yeah, I still haven't played this one. It's definitely on my list. Maybe one day we'll get to it. Oh boy.
It's also, if you have my account, you can play it.
Yeah, that was not going to say, but yes, you are right about that.
I was going to say that I'm buying it right now because this looks so up my alley.
It does. It looks very much like it's scratching that Mina the Hollower itch before Mina the Hollower even comes out.
Yes. Yeah.
Beat him to the punch.
That's why I got it.
Yeah. Good stuff.
But I will still buy Mina the Hollower when it comes out.
Yeah,
that demo is incredible.
Yeah.
This looks great.
Okay, well, I'm going to give my pick for platformer of the year. And this might not come as a surprise to some of you, but it is going to Monochrome Heights from our very own P-Dix himself, Patrick Knisely. His long-awaited 2D pixel platformer finally came out. And man, I'm not even giving Patrick this award because Patrick is my friend. I am giving this award for best platformer to Monochrome Heights because it is the best platformer I played all year long. This game is phenomenal. It is criminally slept on. I think everybody who is a fan of precision pixel platformers, Ikaruga likes, anything, like any fan of Celeste, I could see very much enjoying this game. It is challenging. It's difficult. It's also the only game that I went back and played again. I went back and tried to get the best times that I could on every level. I did, there's not really a new game plus. I just straight up played the game for a second time after I beat it the first time, and I had just as much fun trying to min-max my way through all the levels, not care so much about the collectibles and just try to speed run the thing. Fabulous game. I really recommend it to everybody, and congrats, Patrick, for finally getting your game out. I know that was a very long endeavor in your life, but that is my pick for platformer of the year. And with that, we're going to move on to some individual categories here. If you've listened to Switch Headz Golden Headz Awards before, this is basically where we pick our own categories. Everybody generally has a different one. I think, Summer, let's start with you because your category is one that you've done before on the show. Am I correct?
Yeah, this is basically like my categories. My category is the game that came out this year that, in my opinion, is the best game to cosplay from. And typically what that means is it's a game that gives us lots of delicious options for cosplay inspiration. My award is going to Date Everything.
Ooh, good one. Good one.
Yeah.
Because there are literally over 100 characters in this game that all have such interesting, unique designs that I, honest to God, think cosplayers were in mind when making this. Just everything around this game in the first place. It's such a love letter to folks who loved like voice acting and game dev and doing art for like the indie game space. So it's such a beautiful cultivation of just like fandom ideas, and cosplay is such a huge part of fandom that it has to go to date everything. I'll eventually cosplay from this too. And there's just unfortunately too many characters that I'm debating between.
Yeah, I know. I got to see a meetup of a bunch of cosplayers all doing this game.
You're going to get to it, MagFest. I'm convinced we're going to get
think so?
I'm convinced we're going to get every single dateable.
Oh my God.
I think they can do it. It's gonna be great.
Awesome. Yeah, just watching that trailer was like, wow, there are some amazing costumes in here. Jordan, we're gonna move on to you. What is your individual category for the Golden Headz Awards?
So last year I did the no, I swear I'll play this next year and it won't just sit in my backlog for the next 3 years. And last year I give it to Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, which I did play.
Hey,
it was phenomenal. And it was really good. So
task.
held myself accountable, played that game, loved it, thought it was incredible. So this year I'm giving it to Hades 2.
Wow.
Because this is the
Hades
game that I was
this
like,
year.
I was like legitimately I loved Hades 1. I probably put 70 to 100 hours into it. I can't remember, but I was, and this year I was just like, there's too many things. I can't do it. And it will always be here and it will always be good. So that is my 2026 goal, is to play Hades 2, which I looked it up today. It is on sale. I'm going to buy a copy. Even I could play someone else's copy. I'm going to play my own copy.
Yeah, well, that's one you want to have on your system, to be honest.
Exactly, dude.
Yes.
And also, I love
support Supergiant.
Yeah.
Yes, dude. I love Supergiant because I've played pretty much most of their games at this point. I played, like Transistor, Bastion, the weird
Play
sports.
Pyre. Oh, you did play Pyre.
Yeah, I played Pyre too. So I'm just like, I played all their games. I think they have the reason I love Supergiant games is this is like so hyper specific. But for Hades, they did cross saves between platforms.
Yeah, that's cool.
And I'm like, as someone who used to play a lot of Apex Legends, whenever I switched from Xbox to PC, they're like, we can't really figure out how to make cross saves work, even though you have your EA account.
CD Projekt Red figured it out for Cyberpunk as well.
That's, and so when I was like, if Supergiant Games can figure it out, this multi-billion-dollar game can figure it out. So anyway, Supergiant Games has my respect for forever, and Hades 2 is my, no, I swear I'll play this next year and it won't just sit in my backlog for the next 3 years. David, what about you? What's your individual category?
My individual category this year, and this is a very David category, which is what the individual categories are for, is the best N64 aesthetic ball rolling game that came out in 2025. And ladies and gentlemen, can you believe it? It's a tie.
No.
That's right. Because this year gave us not one, but two amazing N64 aesthetic ball rolling games. The first one being Y2 Roll, which is an N64 styled monkey ball like game. This game was phenomenal. It is really wonderful. Out of all of these, this one looks like it actually could have dropped on the N64. It had incredible crunchy, 240p graphics with the smearing and everything on it. It had a reflective chrome ball. People who know me love that reflective, like early Y2K CG aesthetic. And it was just so much fun to play and speedrun. So I really loved this. But that's not the only one, because the other winner in this category is Super 10-Pin. That's right. This was an N64 style bowling game.
This looks incredible.
It is very incredible. The aesthetics are off the chart. The soundtrack to both of these games are actually really great, like drum and bass, jungle, like soundtracks. This takes the idea of a bowling game and really just punches it up to 10. It's a very silly experience. Think of it as like maybe the Star Wars Episode 1 racer of bowling games. It also has like a little bit of like a vaporwave core look for some of the levels. Very, very fun. Both of these games should be on your radar. But if you're not into monkey ball likes, I think everybody likes a good bowling game, and Super 10-Pin is up there with some of the best of the year as far as indies are concerned. So those get my pick for best N64 aesthetic ball rolling game for the year 2025. Let's hope hope that we get just as many for the year 2026.
Those aren't even the only ball rolling games that came out this year.
No, there were more. There were more.
We got new Katamari this year.
We got new Katamari, but that's PS2 aesthetic, so we're not counting that.
That's why we're not counting that, but I'm just like thinking about ball rolling exclusively. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I played another game as well called Venoneth this year, which is kind of like it's like a monkey ball / Riven like. It's like basically made for me. It's like a puzzle open world exploration monkey ball game, but that did not come out this year. That was a 2020 joint. But we're going to move on to our final Golden Head Award for the evening. We still have more awards to come, but this is our final Golden Head Award. And Summer, you will be presenting this one.
Yes, this Golden Head is for the best game to play over game chat. So, effective the multiplayer award. The nominees are Mario Kart World, Split Fiction, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment, and Kirby Air Riders. The award goes to Mario Kart World.
Hey, that's true.
Yes. Not only does it retain the typical online play that we had previously, or in just multiplayer play that we had previously, you can, the game in itself introduced the world exploration. You are able to do that co-op, both online and couch co-op, just hanging out in the game. You don't even have to be playing with someone as far as game chat is concerned. You could both be working on your time trials together. And with the additional mode, Knockout Tour, just being a fun addition to the way that we play Mario Kart, and, kind of even conceptualize playing within like a Nintendo game. It's just a spin on a classic.
Yeah. Great
Delicious
stuff. Great stuff. They also, with that recent patch, did fix a lot of issues that I had with the online, all the way as far back as like Mario Kart 8. They added some features that I've been hoping they'd add all the way since then. So definitely a great game to play with game chat on, share your screen, see where people are. You can screen peek again while playing Mario Kart online. Our next category that we have here, we're each going to give a pick for these. And this is our favorite non-2025 game that we personally played in 2025. And I'm going to start on this one. My favorite non-2025 game of the year was Outer Wilds. I had never played this game before, and it immediately shot up to an all-time favorite. This was a transcendental experience. I played this entire game on stream as well, which was really, really fun. It kind of kept me to task on actually remembering what I was doing. Speaking out loud sometimes really helps when you're doing puzzle games like this. And also chat being there and not spoiling anything for me, but like being there to experience me experiencing this game for the first time was such a delight. So yeah, Outer Wilds is probably going to be the best game I play in whatever year I play it. But it gets the coveted best non-2025 game of the year for me. Phenomenal experience that I'll never forget.
David, I'm so happy to hear you say that. That is a top 10 game for me. And I remember just being like, dude, I'm so surprised you've never played this. So I'm glad you enjoyed it so much.
I think I was waiting till the right moment. And I think the very beginning of the Trump administration was the right moment. So I could escape to another solar system for a little bit.
I think also just like the overall message of that game is very prescient as a human. And that's why I think it's such a powerful game. I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but everyone should play Outer Wilds. I'm just going to say that right now. But I'll go next. My favorite non-2025 game that I played in 2025, I finally played Alan Wake 2.
Hey.
I picked this up. Dude, I'm a pretty big fan of Remedy. I played a lot of their games. And man, Alan Wake 2 is such a bizarre thing. I don't even know. It's like, it's a game, but it's also like a cinematic experience, but it's also like an interactive, like real world. I don't know. It's just
welcome back, FMV.
Yeah, right. It's just like such a weird thing, but it's also like got incredible music in it as well. And it made that one Game Awards make more sense in my brain because I saw like them.
Oh, you saw that before you played the game. Right.
Yeah. And I was just like, they were like dancing on stage at the Game Awards. And it's like, I haven't played Alan Wake 2. This makes no sense to me. But man, what a really like, and I also like was watching Twin Peaks. And so my friend Daniel, shout out, thank you so much. He described it to me. He's like, Alan Wake 1 is the original Twin Peaks series. Alan Wake 2 is Twin Peaks The Return. And with that in mind, I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense. Like this game is
so what's
so
Fire
bizarre.
Walk With Me then at that point?
That's gonna be Control.
Okay.
But man, what a weird game. It just breaks the boundaries of what a game can be. But Summer, what is your favorite non-2025 game played in 2025?
Yeah, I went with something that I had not played before that I played this year for the first time. And so for me, that is going to be Slay the Princess. I'm not typically into horror games, but it was enough of a visual novel that I was kind of able to brace myself. I'm not a stranger to visual novel games that are horror games. I can handle... If you're a weenie and you enjoy visual novels, but you're wanting something that is still like, a little existentially interesting, play Slay the Princess. There's some great performances in it. The art is interesting. It plays with some interesting ideas. Don't stay up till 2 a.m. playing it like I did. I always tell myself I'm not going to, and then I do, and then I'm like, oh no, I can't sleep. I have to play Animal Crossing. That's my top one from that was new to me this year.
This is one
this year
that hopefully will get the award for me in the future. I bought this a long time ago.
Oh,
I bought this in a 2-pack with 1,000 Times Resist. And I ended up playing that game, and then I just never got around to Slay the Princess. But it's been sitting in my Steam library this whole time, just waiting for me to play it. I'm just waiting until that day where I'm abandoned on that deserted island.
It's not a long game. I mean, truly, it really is like a multiple playthroughs if you want it kind of a thing. And one playthrough really is like 1 to 2 hours.
Okay,
so
I'll play it soon. I definitely it's been staring
at me.
Yeah, it's an airplane game. Yeah.
Sounds like a stream game too.
Oh, maybe that's a stream
absolutely.
game. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Because people want to see what choices you make. It's 100% a stream game.
Great stuff. Well, we're going to move on to a bit more of a personal award that we'll be giving out here. And this is for each of our personal gaming moments of the year. This could be a game we played. This could be a community thing that we went to. It could be any number of things that's related to the realm of gaming. And I think, Summer, let's start with you. What would you say as your gaming moment of the year?
Yeah, this was a really difficult one for me because I am very community involved with video gaming. Like I just said, I literally hosted a Game Awards party. I go to conventions all the time. Did a bunch of performances this year that were related to gaming. That being said, we finally got some new Fire Emblem news this year.
That's right.
I did manage to do one entire stream this year on my Twitch channel, and that was a co-stream of the Nintendo Direct that we got. I put on clown makeup. I wore a clown nose because I was clowning for Fire Emblem, and we did manage to get Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave announced for a 2026 release.
Hey.
And the clown nose, it paid off.
Yeah, finally.
So yeah, my gaming moment, my epic gamer moment this year of 2025 was effectively, clowning the prophecy, getting a new Fire Emblem game announced during a Nintendo Direct, and it was the one more thing. It was the final announcement in that Direct, which made it all the more special.
Very good. I definitely was very happy to see that. I actually need to cut back right now because you're doing the honk honk on the video. There we go. Video viewers can watch the moment where Summer started absolutely losing their shit when this was announced. But yeah, everybody was thinking about Summer whenever this trailer dropped.
Yes, I was. Yeah.
That is a great pick. Jordan, what about you?
Yeah. So mine's a little bit more esoteric and just life focused, but I finally took a trip to Japan that I was trying to take since 2019. So video gaming has been a part of my life since I was a child, and just so many Japanese games played over the years. It's interesting to know about the history of some games and then being able to go to the places that it was based off of. So, I went to Fushimi Inari, the shrines, and went through the Torii gates, and Yeah, I think I maybe said this on the podcast before, but I was like, I was just bawling, uncontrollably crying. And I don't think it was even video game related, but it was just kind of like one of those moments where like everything coalesced and I was walking through the Torii gates and it's like, this is one of the most beautiful moments I've ever had in my entire life.
Wow.
And, you know, it's just like knowing that, you know, Miyamoto walked through in the same moment and tried to, and then eventually came up with the idea for Star Fox is just like so beautiful and synchronous, even if we are having different experiences at completely different moments in time. But I also accidentally booked a hotel at my first stay in Tokyo next to Camelot Games. And I remember like literally getting off the train and walking to my hotel and like walking by the building and have the little you know, directory outside and it said Camelot Games. There's like no fucking way that's the Golden Sun.
Like the Camelot. Right,
yeah, there's no fucking way. And I went to my hotel and I looked it up and was like, holy shit, I booked a hotel literally next door to Camelot Games. I'm going inside per David's recommendation just to see if I can see anything. And I was able to see, but no one was there. And then I felt really awkward. And I went back like 2 or 3 more times, but then I never saw anyone. And then I saw someone and I ran into the elevator. Like I literally, the door was like closed and I ran into, that was a whole, like I ran into a closed door because I was so embarrassed.
Oh my goodness. No, you can. That's when you can just play the dumb gaijin card. You can just be like, "Hey, look, I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm American.
David, that's exactly what I did.
Yeah,
it's like I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
that guy in Japan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, but just, you know, just what a beautiful trip that I had. And, you know, that was just really cool to see all the like different places. And I ended up picking up one. I was like, I had to gotta pick up one game while I'm here to have like the Japanese cover. So I picked up a copy of Pokemon Scarlet. No, Pokemon Violet.
Colors, you got this.
Colors.
Yeah.
I don't know colors, man. Anyway, David, what was your game in mind?
Very cool.
Take it away, please.
Well,
go.
now Jordan has been to Camelot. I've been to Jupiter. Summer, whenever you go to Japan, you also have to visit a Japanese game studio now. Maybe RGG. I don't know. We'll have to see.
That's a discussion for later.
Okay, absolutely. Well, we're gonna move on to actually. Now it's my turn to give my gaming moment of the year, and believe me, there were a million. We had such wonderful community moments, especially within the Discord this year. There's so many things that I could say, but as soon as I thought of like the gaming moment for me personally, where I popped off the most, I had to put when I won that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tournament at SoonerCon this year. I was brought to this convention in Oklahoma City pretty much against my will. I wasn't even looking forward to it that much because I'm not a huge fan of Oklahoma. No offense to some people that might be on the call right now. But, but I went there and I did not know that they were doing a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tournament until I was there. And then I signed up on a whim and then learned it was 200cc and thought, okay, great, I'm done for. I did not practice 200cc. I never even play 200cc. I don't even know what I'm doing with this. But then I learned on the job. I basically like was watching other people and the characters that they were doing their builds with. I realized if you play as lighter, smaller characters, 200cc is a lot easier to play with. And then just I kept freaking winning. And then by the end of it, I won like $125. I popped off so hard that I actually sprained my ankle because I jumped out of the chair too fast. It was a very, very exciting time. I was so proud. Never have I felt more like I earned my gamer card than that moment. So everybody congratulate me in the comments for winning the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe tournament. Maybe I'll go back to SoonerCon next year, see if I can do the same thing for a Mario Kart World Tournament. But actually, you know what? No, I'm not going back to Oklahoma City. All right. Anyway, that does it for our gaming moments of the year. And now we've made it to the big time, folks. We have made it to each of our game of the year choices. And let's start then, I think, with Jordan. What is your third favorite game of the year?
My number 3 game of the year is Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Hey, wow.
Which
Banana.
Banana. Zebra. That song, dude, is still stuck in my head. It just pop into my brain. Saying
I thought game music didn't leave you.
Exactly.
Liar. You're a liar.
I'm not playing the game.
Just drilled its little into he dug his way into my little brain. Yeah, man. What else is there to say that hasn't already been said on this? It's just, what an incredible experience. I'm glad that Donkey Kong finally got his redemption on a 3D platformer.
That's so true.
It's just like, he deserved this, man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's interesting to see Nintendo branch out and try to support less supported franchises. And it gives me hope.
For Star Fox.
No, it gives me hope that Waluigi may see his time in the sun yet.
Do you think we're going to get that Waluigi dating sim?
God, dude, any Waluigi game, dude. I want it. I don't know why. I can't explain to you why I like that character, but the fact that we haven't got a Waluigi game is baffling to me. But Donkey Kong Bonanza was pretty good.
Well, he's a sex pest, so that might explain some of that. But anyway, Summer, what's your number 3 game of the year?
My number 3 game of the year, I'm including it, even though I know a lot of other lists haven't. It's still its own game to me because it came out this year. It's chapters 3 and 4 of Deltarune.
Yo,
good pick.
Okay. Yeah. I replayed chapters 1 and 2 leading up to the release of chapters 3 and 4, and wowie zowie. I know that they are still, the individual chapters really are their own experiences. It's almost like 3 could be its own and 4 could be its own. For the sake of everybody getting their spotlight, they're going to be considered one for this. Seriously, if you're still sitting in that camp of, I want to wait for the entire thing to be out, don't. Just play it. Just play Deltarune chapters 1 through 4 if you haven't yet, and then replay through them before the next chapter comes out like I did. They're not extremely long. They're also still incredibly satisfying to replay through. When I replayed through chapters 1 and 2, I'm already looking forward to the time that I will replay through all of them again before the next chapters come out. Toby Fox has done it again. I know I've said this a million times. Everything that was good about Undertale, it is so obvious that he is doing that and beyond. It's like so clear. Everything that he learned in Undertale is just that much better in Deltarune. Play the new chapters. Get on it.
Hell
so
yeah.
Good. It's so good. Everything about it is so good.
I will play these one day.
I mean, if it's your kind of game.
Right.
If it's your kind of game, play
Absolutely.
it for sure.
Look, so many people have said that they love it that I have to at least give it a try, right?
If you, David, I will say, as somebody who, wants to love RPGs but has a hard time beating them, these games are not long. They're not as long. So they are more digestible in that way.
Yeah, there's just 4 of them right now.
Opinion. Well, okay, so like each chapter, it'll take you like a couple of hours each, right? But Undertale itself too, it's like 10 hours maybe, right? It's not bad. It's not bad.
Do I need to play Undertale first, or can I just jump right into Deltarune?
You don't have to play Undertale. No. Okay. It's helpful in a sense of like, oh, look at that guy I knew from Undertale. But it is like, it's technically
I was on
like
Tumblr back in the day. I know what the characters from Undertale are.
Is that a Sans?
Yeah.
He's there.
Anyway, we're going to move on to my number 3 game of the year. This is the runner-up to the runner-up. And for me, it's Monochrome Heights.
Hey.
I played the absolute ever-loving shit out of this game, and I loved every single second of it. And gang, I'm just going to say it. Patrick told me when he was designing this game, it always helps to have somebody in mind that you're thinking of, that you're developing the game for. And he said that person was me. So guys, this game was quite literally made for me. It hit all the notes of every game that I like. It was so David coded that it definitely got on my top 3 games of the year. I can only hope and pray that we'll get a Switch port of this sometime soon. I think everybody has to buy 10 copies for themselves and 10 copies for their parents this holiday season in order to make it happen. But Monochrome Heights by One Frog Games gets my number 3 game of the year pick. Jordan, we're going back to you. We're going to throw it back to you, bud. What's your number 2 game of the year?
Okay, man, my number 2 game of the year. This is a game I probably put about 30 to 40 hours in, and I can very easily see myself putting another 30 to 40 hours in. Dude, it's Monster Train 2.
Wow.
So last year, I picked Balatro as my game of the year because I am a deck builder sicko. I love Slay the Spire. It is one of my favorite games ever made, and I cannot explain to you why. Like, I just am obscenely addicted to it. And Monster Train 2, like, I was like, what can they really do for a sequel? And when I first started playing it, I wasn't really like sure, because it was like, oh, it's just new clans and new like types of buff, debuff kind of thing. But the more I got into it, the more I got sucked into the layers and breadth of gameplay. Like, Slay the Spire is like hyper specific, where like 1 to 2 damage difference can make or break your deck, whereas like this game is so much more broad, which I really enjoy, because it takes place on 3 different levels, and you're fighting monsters on 3 different levels, and you're having to build your levels in different ways. And you could do it all the same. You could do it where like, oh, I'm going to focus on like my main character here, and then do 2 different levels different. It's just like, the ways that you can play this game are like infinite. And I feel like Slay the Spire, much as I love it, has some like pretty standard archetypes. This game, like, I've been trying some weirdo builds that I'm like, will this work? And guess what? Yeah, you can make it work. And I think
cool.
that is like insane. And they also, this is like a slight spoiler to the game, they managed to pack in the first Monster Train game into Monster Train 2.
That's cool.
And I won't expand on that too much, because it was a big surprise like 20 hours into this game, where I'm like, oh, so this is like the only Monster Train game I need to own going forward. But I don't know, man. I think about it. I still think about it. As soon as I boot it up and I start a run, I'm like, I got to just give myself an hour and a half, because that's just how long it's going to take for me to finish this run, and I can't break it in the middle. But that's my number 2 game of the year.
Wow. So you're saying it's the Pokemon Gold and Silver of deck building games. Contains
yes.
Kanto
Honestly,
within.
yes.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. And I say that knowing very well that Pokemon trading card game for the Game Boy exists. Anyway, we're going to move on to Summer. What is your number 2 game of the year?
Yeah, I'm going to be real. It's kind of a 1A, 1B situation. Really tried to go with my heart here. So I'm giving my number 2. I'm giving my number 2 spot to Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
Wow.
I know this game, but I'm still, it's hard to talk about it and say things that still haven't been said. One thing that I think I can still say is that as soon as they did win Game of the Year at the Game Awards, they then released additional free DLC that night.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is it's honestly like it's basically a treat land.
It looks so whimsical,
fun thing. It literally is like a present to everyone who has enjoyed the game so far.
That's cool.
Of just additional funny spoofs of the mechanics within the game. But yes, from the storytelling to the characters to the casting to the art direction to the music to the twists and turns to the games that inspired this game. It's, I mean, it really is paying homage to, Final Fantasies of old. And they added photo mode. It's so good.
I think we're at the same part on the trailer right now that you posted in there.
Right?
Yeah.
We got additional costumes that are just for fun. They locked all of the like funny cosmetic things behind bullshit platforming in a way to still additionally make fun of Final Fantasy that they so desperately love in this game. God, Listen, if you're upset about the AI stuff, if you bought tickets to any of the concerts in Europe, I will happily buy them off of you.
That is the Radiohead tour of video game music.
Oh, are you mad about this? Sell me your tickets for London. I will happily take them off of your hands.
Very good.
That's my number 2.
Good to know. Well, at least the music wasn't AI generated. We are going to move on to my number 2 game of the year. And this is one that I said would come back. And boy, howdy, it's come back. It is Angeline Era.
Wow.
Angeline Era is really that shit. I'm like shouting from the tallest mountaintops, everybody play Angeline Era, because I feel like not enough people even know this game exists. It is a truly special game. It utilizes bump slash combat. So you are walking up to enemies, not even pressing a button to attack them. You just walk into them like the ease games of old. Jordan, we had talked about that in a previous episode. You weren't sure what game it was. Very similar to the old ease games. But like I said, the personality of this game, the way that you find levels in the overworld is really fascinating. Like none of the levels are there for you to just like enter. You have to like inspect areas that look like they could have levels in them. So it's just like the exploration of this game stops at nothing at any point throughout it. It is always fun. It is always interesting. And I'm somebody that doesn't generally like a ton of exploration in games. This game made every single thing a puzzle. Battles are puzzles. The overworld is a puzzle. The little mini games that play as you enter a level, those are little puzzles to figure out. Really, really great stuff. Angeline Era is my favorite indie game of the year. But it's that time. Jordan, we have moved on to our number 1 game of the year. What is your game of the year?
This was tough because this was the year I actually played a good amount of games that like I got a PS5 for the first time. So I was able to play some games that I had never played before.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as games that came out this year that I played, there was no game that made me have such joy and such frustration. And there can only be frustration when you truly care. So I had to give it to Silksong, dude.
Wow.
Like I put 60 hours into this game, and it's just like one of the craziest like buildups. Like I'm still in awe that they were able to expand the world from Hollow Knight, because it's completely new areas that is completely suited to the new character. I don't know what else to say. Like, it is just like, it's stuck in my brain. The visuals are aesthetically just so beautiful to me. The music, the atmosphere, the combat, the different types of builds, the way they were able to differentiate this from the first one by like making your character builds entirely different. Like the first one's like charm based. This one is like sigil based. And so basically like every sigil has a different type of attack pattern and charge attack. But then you also like put on your little items of equipment, and just what an incredible game. And it's like one of those games that's like, what do they do for 7 years? And then you play the game and you're like,
oh, they did that.
Oh, they did that. Like, that makes perfect sense that it took them so long to make this game.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always worried about a long development cycle because it feels like it means trouble. And they came out and said, no, we were just vibing, bro. And I'm like, you can tell. It feels very, very good. And just love reading the online community comments for it, and the third secret, quote unquote. Sorry, it's been out for 3 months now. I'm going to say there's like a third act. And that
I think
third
we
act
all assumed there was a third act to this game.
It's just incredible, dude. It's just, what a fantastic game. But Summer, what is your game of the year? I think I know, but I want to hear.
I think you know. Like I said, it was 1A and 1B, and I really sat and thought about this. And you know, like similarly to what you just said, I just double checked. I've put over 100 hours into this game, so I expect it to surpass other games soon. It's Hades 2.
Very good.
Hell yeah, dude.
I recently realized that I want to 100% this game.
Wow.
And I'm actually taking actions now towards doing that.
What is it? Is it just playing the game? Is that what those actions are?
You don't know anything about these games, do you?
Yeah, it's specific sets of things.
There are
Gotcha.
a lot of specific
Gotcha.
achievements that require very specific things that you
Gotcha.
do. And I didn't care about that with Hades 1, and I have over 150 hours in that game. I truly was playing it just for the love of the game. Every time I booted it up, I was like, I'm just doing another run. Did not necessarily care about, like the fated list. I was like, I'm just going to complete it as I complete it. I've gotten to a point now in Hades 2 that I'm like, I want to actively finish or like 100% this game.
Interesting.
And I'm sure I will probably still want to continue playing it after that, just because of how fun it is to develop different builds, as we say, with running through this game. Seeing all of the characters and new characters from the first game and the continued developments of them all, and the way that they just extrapolated from the first game in their super giant way. This game has it all. They put crafting in my beloved Hades.
Okay, I'm out.
Like I said, it's
craft?
Can you bulk craft? No, you cannot bulk craft, but you can go to the hot springs with a hottie to spend time to make crafting and farming go faster, and then you go get your stuff from the crafting and farming. Anyway, it's really good, like I said, and in relation to what David just said, this game is for women who love women, okay? There are other people who love it too, and that's like awesome and incredible, but like this game is for women who love women. It's just it's an all-around incredible game. This is my game of the year. It's probably going to be my game of the next 5 years until Hades 3 comes out.
Hell yeah. Very good. Well, I think that leaves just one award remaining, and that is my personal game of the year. And if I haven't had it in the top 3 already, you knew this was coming. It's what I hoped would win. Yeah, that's right. It is Dragon Drive. No.
I was not.
I saw you doing the wheelchair
down.
motion. Okay.
No, I was punching.
No, it's not Dragon Drive. It is Donkey Kong Bonanza. This is pretty much the game of my dreams. I mean, look, I love the 2D Donkey Kong games more than anything. I love the rare 2D Donkey Kong games. I love the retro 2D Donkey Kong games. But Donkey Kong has never gotten a fair shake in 3D. And to me, this is the Mario 64 of the Donkey Kong franchise. It is truly remarkable what they were able to do with this game. I like this game more than Mario Odyssey. I think this is, in a year and a couple of years really with amazing indie 3D platformers, this one still took the cake. And it's not just because it's a Donkey Kong game, it's because it was doing new things with the genre. It was doing new things with the franchise. The interplay between Donkey Kong and Pauline, I thought actually really worked for me pretty much throughout the entire game. I was more enraptured by the story than I thought I was going to be. And that theme that we're breaking through the starter core, I thought I flew down anymore. Like every time I hear that song, I legitimately tear up. Like I don't know what it is about it, but even when we were watching the Game Awards, when they were doing the medley of that song, as soon as it like got to the bit where Pauline's voice actress was singing that song, I just started crying. I don't know. It's like there's a button inside of me that gets pressed every time I hear that song. So it really worked on me so much. I thought the ending of that game, again, I don't know how much we want to spoil at this point. I think we're probably okay to. I think Nintendo has pretty much spoiled it at this point as well. But getting K. Rool back at the end of Donkey Kong Bonanza blew my freaking mind. I couldn't believe it. I was on cloud 9. We all know King K. Rool is the best king in the Nintendo universe. So seeing him get his day was very, very special. Donkey Kong Bonanza gets my Game of the Year award. Well, that's going to do it, I think, for the 7th annual Golden Headz Awards 2025. What a year for gaming. It wasn't the best year in a lot of ways. There was lots of strife in the industry, but boy, there were a lot of great games that came out this year. This isn't even counting so many AAA games that, that got all their accolades and all their flowers at the Game Awards. This is our specific awards, but I think there was something for everybody this year, right? I really enjoyed it. Do any of you guys have Any kind of final thoughts on the year 2025 before we wrap up this episode? Summer, what about you? Is there anything you want to say to bring out this year?
Yeah, whatever. I'm giving additional shout outs to Animal Crossing and Fire Emblem Three Houses because I also put another 50 hours into both of those games.
Wow.
Because I need to prepare for Fortune's Weave, which is related to Three Houses, and I need to build up my Bell Reserve again for when the Animal Crossing DLC comes out in January. So I've got those on my brain like hardcore as well. I was like, I want to do a new game for my game of 2025. I almost put Fire Emblem Three Houses again, but I held.
You've done that one before, right? Yeah.
Have I?
I think it was last year, maybe. I don't know.
But yeah, closing thoughts. I love video games.
Me too.
I love video games, and yeah, awards are bunk, and you don't have to agree with what we said. But gosh, maybe there was a new game that you heard tonight that sounded interesting to you that you want to play. I definitely, immediately went to download the game that Jordan brought up for platformer, the Cursed Yo-Yo. Yeah, like as soon as I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, that does look like my kind of game. So if anything, right, like you don't have to agree with all of our awards, but we definitely like hear about new games, look into new games. I love video games.
I love video games. I love
video
doing this podcast.
It's got to be my favorite interactive art media.
Yeah, really great stuff. Jordan, what about you? Anything you want to say to close out 2025?
Yeah, man. There are too many games. This is the year I realized I'm never going to get to play every video game I ever want to play.
It's a sad reality.
And I got to be more specific in like my choices, which I feel like I have been this year. It's like I finally went to Alan Wake 2. But I think it's a beautiful place that we're at because there is truly a video game for everyone. Like, I feel like in more years than ever before, you can truly be like, oh, I know the type of game you would like, and it's just, I think that's a beautiful place to be at because video gaming used to be a hyper specific niche, and to see it break open is just beautiful. There's like, it's way more inclusive than it's ever been, despite the toxicity online would lead you to believe. There is more games for any person in the world, and there's more accessibility options as well. Like I love seeing that take off as well, like different types of controllers for people who don't necessarily have the ability to play games with traditional controllers, and button remapping and stuff. It's just like we've never been at this place ever in the industry. So it's really beautiful to see amid all the chaos and strife, there is a little bit of perseverance as well, like a phoenix rising out of the ashes. It's just really nice. Yeah. David, what about you? What's your little final closing thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's been one hell of a year. I'm really hoping 2026 is the wokest year on record yet.
Fuck yeah, dude, I'm here.
I think it's going to be really nice for everybody involved. But no, like I said earlier, it was a difficult year in a lot of ways for the industry, but man, we got some of the greatest games we've gotten in a while this year, and I think Nintendo's firing on all cylinders. I can only hope that Nintendo's 2026 is just as strong as 2025 was. We got the very tail end of the Switch there, but then the Switch 2's launch year was really something spectacular. I think it exceeded a lot of my expectations on what I thought might be coming in the first year of the Switch 2. I really thought, if you listen back to that 2025 predictions episode, I kept saying, no, I think the Switch itself is the launch title, right? It's like, no, we got Mario Kart World like day one. And it was like, for all its trouble, it's still a game I play, and it's still wonderful, and everybody's playing it. It's breaking records. It's just a wonderful year to be a gamer. And I just want to give a shout out to the Switch Headz community, man. Like everybody who's in the Discord, who listens to the audio version, who watches the YouTube version, all the new subscribers we got over this past month. I think this past month got us more subscribers than we've gotten in a really, really long time. So welcome to all of you. I'm really excited for a whole new year of Super Switch Headz podcasting. This has been one of the great joys of my life, is doing this podcast. And it's been really, really wonderful doing the show with you guys. Summer, it was so sad when you stepped away from the show, but I love getting you back on for stuff like this. And it's such a delight having you on. Jordan, you've always been my ride or die when it comes to video game discussion of any type. So I feel so privileged to be able to do this with you and to be able to do this show for you listeners. So thank you very much for being a member of the Switch Headz community, enjoying our show and listening to this very special Golden Headz episode of Super Switch Headz. I think that's going to do it. That's been a great show. Thank you, Summer, for joining us. Thank you very much to MilkyWay.co for doing our website. Thanks to Corduroy for doing our music. Thanks to all of our patrons on Patreon. And if you'd like to find me online, I'm pretty much everywhere on the internet at Monolith Fiji.
You can find me at Bordan.
You can find me at Weebwitched.
And if you'd like to find our show on social media, we are at Switch Headz on Blue Sky and Twitter, at Super Switch Headz on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We have a website, that's switchheadz.com, and we have a Discord, a Facebook group, and a Patreon. We have links to all three of those in the description of this episode, whether you're watching us here on YouTube or you are listening on Apple or Spotify. Definitely check the descriptions there. You'll find links to all that below. And like and subscribe over on YouTube. Leave us a review on Apple and tell all your friends about the show. We'd love to see you guys in the Discord or anywhere else. But either way, we've got our annual predictions episode coming next week. So make sure you stay tuned for that. We might have a special guest joining us on that episode as well. But in the meantime, gang, you guys know the drill. Stay safe out there. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to one another. Give yourself an award for being the best person there is.
Yeah.
Fuck ICE. Free Palestine. We love you very much. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.